Before we start, quick context. This video is part one of a three-part series. Now, in this series, we're going to talk about how we report results, how we manage buying power safely, and how to think about trade selection responsibly. In this video, we're going to focus on how we report results, why we focus on buying power, and why account size alone can be very misleading. So let's start with the foundation. This question comes up constantly and it causes a lot of confusion, rightfully so. When we talk about a $30,000 account or a $1 million account, we're not talking about the total size of the account. Oh no. We're talking about buying power allocated to a specific strategy. Now that distinction matters. The actual account size can be smaller or larger depending on margin or portfolio structure and how much capital sits behind that strategy. Professional traders do not think in terms of account size. No, they think in terms of risk buckets and buying power. Let me give you a simple example. Let's say that you and I deploy $100,000 of buying power into the same strategy. Okay, we're doing the same trades, the same risk, the same rules, but you have $10 million behind it and I only have $100,000. If we both make $30,000, the trade performance is identical, but the results are not. I made 30%. You made less than 1%. So reporting performance based on total account size would be misleading for both of us. The only real fair way to compare results is return on buying power. Now that's why professional reports are labeled return on buying power. It normalizes the risk and it removes net worth differences from the equation. Now, here's where this gets more nuanced and a lot more complicated. Even though we call it the $30,000 buying power challenge, that account started with $30,000 and has grown over to $41,000. By the time this airs, it'll probably be more. That means the account can technically support more trades and begin compounding results. Now, we've intentionally not increased the trade count yet to keep the results clean and comparable, but we're probably going to. The same thing applies to the $1 million challenge. That account is up over $300,000 at this point, and now effectively has $1.3 million in buying power. Growth changes what an account can do, and that's called compounding. So that makes it much more complicated. This video is all about transparency. In part two, we're going to talk about how we manage buying power safely. If any of this information has been of value to you, we'd sure appreciate it if you could subscribe and like below. And remember our motto, math makes money, because after all, this is just one giant math problem. I hope you have a great trading day.